What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bro Tech Gaming Podcast. My name is Carlos. His name is Sean. It's a new week, so we're going to get into some new news for y'all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back again to another BroTech Gaming news episode. So as always, we check the socials, trying to see what's popping out in the BroTech Gaming and movie world and stuff. So we got a few topics for you guys. Number one topic. This is a Carlos contribution. Thank you, Carlos, for the contribution to the news episode. We have Last of Us multiplayer news. So we got a little bit more information on the Last of Us multiplayer. It was kind of like in limbo for a while. Then, once the show started and everybody was like, well, what's going on with Naughty Dog? What are they doing? So sounds like we got some more Last of Us multiplayer stuff. So why don't you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so they tweeted out something. I think it was like a close organization that follows Naughty Dog, so they're kind of in with them. But what they said is The Last of Us multiplayer is going to come out later this year. So sometime later this year is probably going to be before the holiday time, I'm hoping. Um, so it says it's going to take place in San Francisco, and I'm doubting it's going to have any of the main characters in there because it's going to be a whole new group. Um, it's going to be free to play. They also announced that it's going to be out on the PS4 also, which kind of concerns me because PS4 is kind of older technology at this point in time.
Mhm.
So I don't know if they had to lower their standards for making this game to be able to have it run on there. But yeah, so I'm thinking it's only going to come out on PS5 at first, and then I mean PS5 and PS4, and then come out on PC later.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I mean, I think there are going to be some caveats. I think what a lot of people actually forget is I think people are really caught up in the whole like Last of Us Part 1 like PC debacle about, how terrible it ran on like newer hardware. What's crazy to me is like when you go back and look at Last of Us Part 2, like graphically, engine-wise, I feel like it was still better than Last of Us Part 1's remake. And Last of Us 2 was still on the PS4. Now, granted, there were a lot of cutbacks. I think it was like 30 frames, but like visually, graphically, like the game still played, it still ran. Like you played it on your PS4. Granted, it had some you had some technical difficulties running it on your PS4. But I mean, if we're using the same engine, if we're using like the same hardware, I feel like it'll still be fine. I think there's definitely going to be some compromises though. Obviously, I think people would prefer, playing it on newer hardware, but because it's a PlayStation exclusive, I'm pretty sure they've been working on this even since like Last of Us Part 2 was done. So they still have to use the same hardware that they started with, which at the time was only the PS4. So I think it's still going to be okay regardless.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when it comes out on launch, and if it's free to play, man, we'll play it. See what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, free to play will be cool. I like having new settings. San Francisco sounds cool because it's a very like dense urban area. Maybe get some like oceanscapes. Maybe have some like cool like bridge fights, bridge combat type stuff on the Golden Gate. I think that'd be pretty sick. So I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to it. We did talk about it on our Last of Us Everything Last of Us episode. So as long as they make it like fun and progressive and something to grind toward, yeah, I'm all for it. More Last of Us.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Any more on that one, Carlos?
That's all I got for that. But we'll keep you guys up to date if anything else new comes out.
Yes, yes, for sure. Come back here as the standard for anything Last of Us coming out in the future. Nowhere else, just the Brotech Gaming Podcast. All right. News article number 2. So, Apex Legends just dropped a new character trailer. We've got Ballistic coming out when the new season drops. And sounds like we've also got some new map updates, specifically World's Edge. And then some other updates like weapon mastery type stuff. I think, Carlos, you read into that a little bit more than me. So talk to us about Apex Legends.
Yeah. So I seen the trailer for the new Apex Legend, and he looks kind of like meh. I don't know. He
Old.
didn't. Yeah, that too. Like he didn't really do anything for me. He kind of just
Fuse's dad.
yeah, kind of like that. Like they didn't really show off his his like ult enough. They didn't really show off his passive enough. Like I didn't. I was kind of confused just watching it, and I don't know. Like I'm not really hyped to play as him. I'm kind of hyped that there's a new character, and I'm sure like people are gonna be like really good with him going in. But for me, I have to see what his ult actually does, what his passive actually does, and I don't know. We'll see if he's good or not.
So
Um,
when the trailer came out, it was just like a story trailer, right? We didn't have an actual gameplay trailer for Ballistic yet.
not gameplay, but you know how they show off like new skins and stuff like that. It was
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So they also said that they're gonna do an update on World's Edge, which I feel like they're just gonna update some POIs, maybe change stuff around, take some stuff out, put new stuff in, which is cool. Keeping it fresh.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we kind of need that the most on maps like World's Edge. I feel like I honestly feel like World's Edge has probably gone through as many or more facelifts than even like Kings Canyon, man. Like I feel like it's been a minute since we've seen Kings Canyon, and uh, a lot of people want Skulltown back. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with Skulltown, but like that had a few changes, and now I feel like World's Edge is kind of in that same category of like, well, we don't know what to do with World's Edge, so they kind of keep pulling it out and then putting it back. And I do know that World's Edge is kind of like a favorite for the ranky poos. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they decided to focus yet again on World's Edge. I feel like World's Edge has had like five updates with like every other character so far. Um, but yeah, otherwise, sure, give us more of that.
Yeah. So they also announced a weapon mastery, which I'm kind of just guessing. I think my guess is as good as anybody else's, but I kind of feel like they're just gonna add like a level, like a weapon leveling up to it, to where you can get new skins if you hit a certain tier,
Mhm.
which would be cool. I really hope they don't do the whole like attachments thing, like
Mhm.
Call of Duty. I don't know. I like me personally. I just hope that they stay away from that. But showing off like a level for an actual gun would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I kind of like that too because like otherwise the only other way you can have any skins on your guns is if you unlock them in a care package or if you buy them. So it makes it kind of cool that you can actually grind towards stuff besides like stat trackers on your character page. Like you've been playing Apex for a long time since the beginning, so I know that like there's probably like tons of accolades that you would have had in the meantime that would have been cool if you could unlock stuff for those accolades, but otherwise all we have are trackers. And then like besides heirlooms, I got nothing to grind for. Like I'll never get an heirloom unless I dump like 100 and some dollars into like buying those like heirloom packages or whatever. Like I'll never get lucky with those because I'm not a streamer. So it would be cool to have something to grind toward just to show off your skills.
Yeah, with those heirlooms, they said that every time you get to level 500 on like any account, that you're supposed to get it.
Hmm.
And on my PlayStation account, I got to 500. I never got it. And
Hmm.
now on my PC account, I'm more than halfway there, and I still don't have it. So I think it's not real.
I gave up on it, man. I gave up on wanting heirlooms. Like they look cool, but at the same time, it doesn't really do anything. So
Yeah, it
just
just
gives
makes you
people a
look
reason to
cool.
like spam their triangle or their Y button on Xbox. So okay. Any more on the Apex news, Carlos?
Not much. I'm excited for the new season. I don't get to grind it as much as I used to. When I used to work on weekends, I had the whole week to grind it. Now I get like one day. So as
Yeah.
far as playing ranked, I don't really get that far. I don't get out of like trainee.
To be fair, dude, I don't think Apex is quite as poppin' as it was. I mean, even for the general player base. Obviously, like if you go on like Twitter and Kick and all that stuff, like there's still a pretty good viewer base, but that's just because of the streamers that are streaming it. I don't think it's as hyped as it has been, which is why it's good that they're coming out with some changes right now because it'll probably bring some people back. Especially if there's rank changes, if they do have more rank changes and tweaks, then maybe it'll be worth grinding again. So we will see, sir. All
Definitely.
right. So, next news subject. This is a very exciting subject for Carlos. We've got Rugrats season 1 and season 2 dropping on Netflix coming up in May. So the original the original Rugrats seasons are going to be popping up on Netflix soon. So Carlos is very excited.
I am. That was my show growing up, man. Like a '90s kid.
Yeah, yeah, and it's actually kind of interesting too because I've always felt like every streaming service has like their signature brand that they showcase. Like like HBO has DC now. I think you've got. I think they even have like Cartoon Network. I think they even own parts of Cartoon Network and like a few of those others. I can't think of all of them, but I always thought like, okay, that would be kind of cool if, say, Netflix had like Nickelodeon. So it'd be cool if like, okay, so we got Rugrats on there. It'd be cool if we could see some like Ren and Stimpy or some Rocco's Modern Life or like some of those like classic Disney shows that we kind of grew up with, or not Disney, but Nickelodeon shows that we grew up with. So maybe Rugrats is a start to that trend.
Yeah, I'd love to see like Doug on there. Hey Arnold, like those
Dude,
OG shows.
they had Hey Arnold. They I think they had the Hey Arnold movie that even popped up on there, and I think Michelle was even like freaking out about it because she remembers Hey Arnold. So SpongeBob.
Yeah, even SpongeBob.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. That's I don't really have a whole lot to add on that one just because I wasn't like hardcore into Rugrats growing up. I did like Ren and Stimpy though. Ren and Stimpy was my shit. So
All right, all right.
just a side note, you remember the one thing I remember from Ren and Stimpy my entire life was they had like their little spoof commercial about the log. Do you remember the log?
No.
I don't remember the song, but it's like log, log, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood. Log, log. It's
No,
like
I
what
don't
rolls
remember that.
downstairs. It's like what rolls downstairs, a loner in pairs rolls over your neighbor's dog. Will fit you on your back. It's great for a snack. It's log, log, log. No.
Wow, no. It's not ringing a
Okay.
bell.
Somebody somebody's gonna remember that out there.
Yeah, I'll
But
find it and I'll put it on here.
What rolls downstairs, the motor and pairs, rolls over your neighbor's dog. What's great for a snack and fits on your back? It's log, log, log. It's log, log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's log, log. It's better than that, it's good. Everyone wants a log. You're gonna love it long. Come on and get your log. Everyone needs a log.
Log from Blammo.
yeah, if anybody remembers that, like hit us up on the socials. Bring back some nostalgia. All right, so that's my contribution to that Rugrats article. You got anything else, Carlos?
Nah, just I'm hyped for it. I can watch it when I'm kind of bored or something. Trying to fall
Sounds
asleep.
good. Sounds good. All right, so getting into some tech news now. So forewarning for people that aren't very tech savvy, we'll just get into this real quick. So it has been reported on many social media tech platforms. Apparently, people that have Ryzen CPUs, specifically the 7000 series, I think it's mostly like the 7800s and up. But it sounds like they've been having some heating issues, and basically, it's been like frying some of their processors in their motherboards. And from what I read, it's like specific models of motherboards. It's like some Asus ones, some of the high end ones, like the Asus ROG ones. I think there was an MSI name drop in there somewhere. And I think one other, I don't know if it was Gigabyte or if it was ASRock. I think it was actually ASRock. But apparently there's been reports of like people's CPUs literally just like frying inside their motherboard. So that kind of sucks for people with new 7000 series CPUs.
Yeah, I'm sure they get them RMA'd. Just kind of like they had the problem with the GPUs catching fire and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they I think AMD already had like an announcement for like people that are reporting these problems just to go ahead and hit them up. So I'm sure they're going to take care of it. What's interesting is the articles I read is the people that this is happening to the most frequently are people that are overclocking their CPUs. So if you keep everything stock, don't mess with it, it's all fine. But it's the people that have been kind of like overclocking it. And the funny thing is if you ever like overclock your CPU, it actually gives you like a little disclaimer that says you will void your warranty if you overclock or modify your CPU. So that'd be kind of like a dick move on AMD if they're just like, oh, by the way, like we forgot that we're not allowed to honor this. So, which doesn't sound like is the case, but it would be kind of a dick move. But I guess it's under like very, very specific circumstances. So yeah, forewarning anybody out there getting a 7000 series trying to overclock your stuff.
Yeah, just make sure you're not overclocking it with like a Wraith stock cooler or something.
Yeah, just like some generic ass thing. It better be like something good, some kind of AIO or something. So yeah, but that's all I have on that one. Carlos, you got anything else to add?
Not really. I seen a picture about it. I didn't read into the details, but I saw the picture and it kind of looked like a horn was kind of coming out of the CPU. Like,
Yeah, it was like bubbled or something like on the actual CPU. Like the pins were like bloated or something, kind of funky, dude. That would freak me the hell out though if I spent like $400 on a new CPU. I'd be pissed.
yeah, just gotta be careful out there.
Yep. All right. Moving on, more tech news. So Asus, they've been kind of quietly behind the scenes developing a handheld gaming device, kind of similar to the Steam Deck. So everybody knows the Steam Deck came out. They've kind of created a new like PC standard. I don't have one, but I think it's pretty badass. It would be cool to own one. But since then, Asus has been talking about their new thing called the Ally. Rumor is it's going to start out at $599. Based on the specs, it looks pretty beasty. I'm going to assume that it's definitely going to be faster and way more capable than even the Steam Deck is, which is cool because I know the Steam Deck, despite how cool it is, it dies really fast. I've heard you get like an hour and a half to 2 hours max of playtime on a Steam Deck. So that'd be kind of cool if this sort of like surpasses all that stuff. Anything to say on this Asus Ally, Carlos?
It kind of reminds me of like the PSP.
Mm.
They're kind of just upgrading the PSP, like the PSP Vitas, the Switch. Like, I don't know. For me, like handhelds, I don't know. They don't really do it for me because either like I'm at work, I'm on the road, or if I'm at home, I'm just gonna play on the PS5 or the PC. So I don't know, man. Like handhelds, kind of old. I don't know. I don't really have much to say on it, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean like 599, like that's pretty hefty, dude. That's a pretty hefty price for a handheld device. Like I don't think I would just go out and spend $600 because just like for $600, like I could literally put that toward a new GPU because I know I'll get way more mileage out of that. I personally still think it would be cool to have one. Like even a Steam Deck, I think it would be fun to have just because I do have a pretty big library of games I like to play. I do like AAA and first party type games, not just multiplayer. So I think it would be fun to own one. It's just 600 is pretty hefty for me, but it is cool to see sort of this new standard in mobile gaming now. Like we haven't really had this for a long time, probably since like the PSP. And honestly, like now, the only standard we have is like the Switch, and the Switch is fine. It's just you have that Nintendo ecosystem, and not everybody's into Nintendo. So I like that we have a lot of diversity now. So I mean, if the price is right, I'm down. I might get it someday, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. If I spend $600 on anything, it's gonna be a GPU.
All right. I guess that's it on that one. Anything else to say about the new Asus Ally, Carlos?
Nah, I mean, I hope it does good though. I mean, we can have a future with handhelds, and it would be cool to just play like remote somewhere. Maybe at like I don't know, like a beer place or something.
Yeah, I think that would be a major selling point for me is the portability. Because like, if I have to plug this thing into a wall just to enjoy its full capabilities, then like it's no different than me playing on a PC. So it has to be able to last at least like several hours for me on the go. Like I think anything less than like 4 or 5 hours of like mobile playtime probably wouldn't do it for me. Like I'd have to be above 5 hours for me to actually give a crap about it. So moving on. So last news topic for the night. This has actually been a pretty quick episode. But this will be kind of a fun one. So this was new. I just found this one out today. But apparently, it was announced that a new battle royale game is going to be in development. It's going to be called Project V in the meantime. But it showcases and has some contributions from a few of our favorite streamers, especially Carlos's favorite streamers. One of which being Courage JD. We all know Carlos loves Courage. One of them being Tim the Tap Man. Carlos almost has the same appreciation for Tim the Tap Man. Then you've got Cypher PK, who's a huge Fortnite player. I don't watch him a lot, but he's pretty big. You got Ninja, which everybody kind of remembers Ninja, and Nick Merckx. So he's another one making his contribution. But uh, basically, they're saying, we want to make a battle royale. We're going to be using Unreal Engine 5's creator mode. And they're just saying, like, stay tuned for updates and keep following and make it happen, all that good stuff. So, yay, new battle royales in the future. Just what we need, more battle royales.
I mean, I'm down for a new battle royale, but it kind of screams too many chefs in the kitchen, especially with Courage being in there because he wants to control everything. Tim the Tap Man can't even control his own computer, so I don't know what kind of contribution he's gonna do to that. Nick Merckx, I'm sure he's gonna do something good in there, because he always has some like useful insights on games and stuff like that. The Cypher PK, I don't know who that is. And you said there was one more.
Yeah, Ninja.
Oh, Ninja. I feel like he would have some knowledgeable stuff on there too. So just Nick Merckx and Ninja. I kind of look forward to what they have to bring to the game.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page because like I've watched both of them play and they're like hyper competitive. They've won tournaments and they've played on teams and they've gone pro. Can't really say that for Courage or or for Tim the Tap Man. Uh, and I think of it as like I think a lot of it too is kind of like it's interesting because like Doctor Disrespect, he's been trying to develop his like survival Tarkov style like battle royale, and like he kind of had some things to say about it too. But I don't know. I mean, free to play battle royales, I like them. I dig them. I'll give them a try. But like if it's gonna be like another version of Fortnite, for example, or if it's just gonna be like another version of Apex Legends, I kind of want more. Like it's really gonna have to impress me to pull me away from like the big three that we kind of already have, or I guess you could say big four if you want to include PUBG. But I don't know. Like I'm down. I'm down for anything new, and if it's got good mechanics and if it's fun, then like I'm cool. But it's gonna take a lot to pull me away from those other ones that I'm already playing.
Yeah, for sure, man. Um, yeah, man. It's just like if you're like a big name streamer, you could just slap your name on anything and just get like a cut of it.
Yeah, and I mean to be fair too, like it's just money. They're just gonna throw money at it, and like they're using Unreal Engine 5's creator mode, which is technically like a free source engine for people that want to pay for it. Um, like, are they creating a studio? Like, are they going to have developers? Are they going to have testers? Like, are they going to have sponsors and plugs and stuff like that? Like I don't know much about it. I mean, obviously, it was just announced yesterday, but I went to their page. Like, they actually have like a link that you can go to from their Project V, and it kind of makes me think of like a Kickstarter. So, I mean, which makes sense, right? Because they're starting it from scratch. But like a studio, especially like a main publishing studio, whether it be like Epic Games or EA or whatever, like they don't need to like promote that a new game is coming out. They're just gonna fucking make it. So it's just kind of funny how they're trying to be like, hey, like, come join our page, like, come support the project. Like, these guys are freaking like millionaires, billionaires, like between the five of them. And I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes. It might honestly just be a complete joke. So
You know what's gonna happen is Courage is gonna hire all these people to carry him to make this game, and then he's just gonna hire them onto the team. And
it's
then
gonna
he's
be.
and then he's gonna do the Instagram and be like, "Look what I made! I built this all by myself."
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think what's interesting too is like Courage is throwing his name in there, which like he's basically like a co-owner of 100 Thieves. Um, It's funny to me that like what's his name, Nade Shot, like Nade Shot's not a part of it or not contributing. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of criticisms across the board about what people think about the project or like what direction it's going in. Like I'll follow it. I'll see the progress. I'll watch the gameplay. Um, you already had Spiros on there going like, oh, like is it going to be first person? Is it going to be third person? You got all these like this stream dick suckers. They're already like trying to get on board with this program or this project. So
Yeah.
as if we need like new platforms and new things.
Yeah, but with new BRs, they usually bring like new streamers too because you never know who's going to be really good at it, and it could be somebody that we like too. So it's an
Yeah.
opportunity.
And I mean, if it uses, yeah, and if it uses like familiar mechanics too, and it's like easy to pick up, I'm down. Like I'm down for any new BR to give a try as long as it feels good. But I know they've had a lot of other BRs that just kind of like fell flat on their face, and like most of them I never even touched anyway. So I hope this isn't the case, because I like new stuff and new things to look forward to. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that as soon as we figure out some more stuff or whenever they tweet some more stuff. We'll put it on here.
for sure, for sure. Um, and that's kind of our last topic. We're only 26 minutes in. Is there anything else you want to add or talk about, Carlos? We still got a little time.
We do have the Star Wars game that came out that was ported onto the PC. Did
Very
really
true.
horrible because of VRAM problems.
So here's the thing. I actually heard more than just VRAM. So one of the streamers or one of the YouTube creators I follow, his name's Daniel Owen. He was talking about how it's actually more of a CPU related issue than it is a GPU related issue because he was running a 5800 X3D with a RTX 4090, and he said that in some scenarios he was only getting 25 frames on a 4090. And he said that the GPU usage was only at like 30% usage or something like that. But his clocks on his CPU were like completely maxed out. So I think there's more to it. So I don't know that this is necessarily contributed to 100% of VRAM problem. I think definitely like something lower spec is going to have trouble running it. But I think that this is clearly an optimization problem from EA, which is already being called like the worst PC port of the year. So it's just like, we got Last of Us off the list already, which is nice. But it sounds like there's a lot more problems with it than just the GPU. It sounds like there's some CPU related problems too. So hope it gets fixed because I actually wanted to give it a try on PC. But if all fails, I guess I'll download it on my PS5, just like the other ones.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of tweets about that they're getting a refund on the PC and going to PS5, which it's kind of like they knew that there was an issue, like the streamers and stuff. They knew that there was an issue with it on PC, but they're like, oh, I'm
Mm.
still gonna try it, and then it ran like ass, and then they're like, oh, I'm getting a refund and going to PS5. It's like, all right, I mean, you knew, like it's your fault.
Yeah, I honestly feel like this is just a bigger problem overall. I mean, I think that developers are failing to realize that there's a lot more players on a PC base now. Like if 2020 taught us anything, that it's that people are preferring to game on PC. So it's not like it used to be. I feel like there were always problems in general when cross-platform games go to PC, but we didn't really hear a lot about it because we were primarily console players. Consoles are always going to get like the priority when it comes to like optimizing a game, but we have so many more players now that are on PC because they're like, oh yeah, like I built this PC over the summer or over COVID, and like I want a game on it now. This is going to be like my main driver for gaming, and now they're seeing all these games come out, just like, man, like this is optimized like shit. Like what did I get this on PC for? And I think the bigger issue is just developing companies. It's just they need to realize, hey man, you can't really do that anymore. Like you got a huge player base on PC now that you need to think about, and you can't just kick them to the curb just so you can optimize on console because everything's kind of like one to one now. So I hope it's a lesson for developing companies. Just take a little bit more time, keep it in the oven a little bit longer. Don't put out a shitty port because it's just gonna get burned on Reddit and Metacritic and all that crap.
Yeah, and it's also like you kind of question like where's the QA on it? Like do they not have testers playing it? Do they not have like they have money, like they can play it themselves. They can out it to other people, like even like people that work at home, they can play it and like I just don't understand why they're still putting out bad games on PC.
I don't understand it, and it's been so consistent this year. Like this kind of makes like either I think like the fifth like cross gen PC port to come out with like big problems. Um like problems that like a day one patch can't fix. Like usually you get a day one patch and then like things run good and then it's fine and then you just get like little baby patches along the way. But like between this, Last of Us, Forspoken, Callisto Protocol, I know there's a few other ones, but like those games came out with like such bad PC ports that like an old generation like PS4 was arguably running better than like a top of the line like $2,000 PC. And I think that's why a lot of people are pissed off because you got these people that spent like 2 grand on their PCs that could, you know, potentially like be a future proof PC for like the next 3 or 4 years. And it's just the game runs like shit. And they're like, well, like what the hell did I buy? Like, why do I have this $1,000 GPU that can't run this game? And I think developers need to wake up, man. Whoever their QA team is just like they're just not doing a good job. They're like asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, they need to go through training again.
All right. Well, I think that's all I got for that one too. Yeah, anything else to add to that, Carlos?
Nothing to add to that. I just want to say really quick that we are at 44 subscribers on YouTube. So I want to thank all of you guys for subscribing. And if you guys are new here, hit the subscribe button. And thank you.
Yeah, cool. Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for checking out our socials and listening in on the podcast every Monday. I think that's going to do it for this one. So I'm Sean. This is my homie Carlos. You guys have been listening to another BroTech Gaming podcast, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Later.